Welcome to Elevate. Today's class is all about how we can use getting into and stabilizing our scapula, which that's a weird term for you. It's this big china bone in the back of the ribs. It does a lot with stabilizing our arm and our shoulder in a number of different positions. So today will be about elevating our practice so that we can learn how to access the scapula, really learn how to lean on it, and get ourselves back into more of a neutral alignment for it. So very many of us, and we can kind of see this on ourselves, even just like kind of go through some of your most recent social media pictures, you'll just kind of notice, even when you're posing for a picture, there's a real tendency to round forward. And it makes sense. Computers, cars, watching TV, we're doing it a lot in our everyday lives. So all those tissues, they just kind of get set in that forward position. So not only today will we find some freedom in the chest, we'll also find some stability for the chest and this whole shoulder complex by tapping into it. So come onto your back. You don't need a block or anything like that for today. And when you arrive on your back, I just want you to first, wiggle your scapula like underneath you. Just like feel them. They're behind you so often during the day that I think this is sort of one of the biggest reasons so many of us are so out of touch with them. They're behind us. We're not looking at them. So we're not really thinking about them and touching in very much. So just letting yourself feel underneath you, those scapula. It's almost like if you ever watch like a nature documentary, the bear does the little back scrubby. You're doing the bear tree marking on your mat here. So you can sort of slow down whatever unique movement you came up with to tap into your scapula. And we'll press our feet into the floor and lift our hips. So this first little ramp position is not really about getting the hips up high, but really about activating the glutes, pulling into the belly. Feel like you can even kind of push your feet forward and get that extension into the quadriceps. Feel the core activate here along with the glutes. So everything's co-contracting. And with the spine feeling long, the glutes starting to warm up here, we're going to reach our hands towards the ceiling. You can face the palms in towards each other here. Fingers are reaching up and spreading out. And then you won't like lift up much, but you're going to reach the fingertips towards the ceiling and feel this little bit of protraction in the shoulder blades. And then I want you to draw the head of your arm bone back down to the shoulder socket. And you're feeling a little shoulder blade retraction. It won't get all the way in because you have the floor kind of in the way there. So just continue to do that, reaching the fingers up, feeling protraction, and then bringing that head of the arm bone back down into the shoulder socket, feeling that retraction. Again, continue to press into the feet as you keep doing this. Reach up and plug back down. Just moving back and forth between that, clearing some space already for the shoulders. The feet are still activated, waking up the glutes, getting the pelvis centered and ready to act as our center of movement. We want to find some neutrality in that pelvis. And then one more time, just plug those shoulder heads down onto the shoulder socket. So you're feeling that scapula, getting a little bit of that retraction, that plug in. Take your right palm up towards the ceiling, and you take your left hand across the right four fingers, pull them back towards your face, and your thumb will pull away from the center of the palm. Just start to lift and lower your hips. It's a really small movement that we're doing here, and we're lifting and lowering our hips, doing hip extension. So there's a little hip thruster move here for you. But I really want you to focus on keeping your low back long, your tailbone rooted, your glutes firing up. Keep pulling into the hands, keep spreading thumb away from the center of the palm. Take another inhale. Exhale. Switch hands. So take it over to that left hand. And again, the four fingers, just getting a nice little pull here, thumb pulled away from the center of the palm. Keep that pulse going a little bit further here. And we'll release the left hand. We can slow our pulse down, just hold that ramp position. So now still you should be feeling a lot of good heat, a lot of good energy into the glutes. And that'll help us connect into the scapula more. Using your core, lower yourself down, upper, middle, lower back, all the way, or take our time, get there. Do a quick little core series here to wake up the abdominals. Take your fingers, interlace them, bring your hand behind the neck or at the very base and back of the skull. So you can just kind of relax that head into the hand. Pull the elbows in. Take a big inhale. Exhale, draw onto the belly and lift. You don't have to lift high to really feel this core activation here. Shoulder blades are coming off of the floor, but it's not like a big, huge full-on crunch. We'll inhale, bring it back down. So fill the torso back up. Exhale and lift. Pulling into the core, drawing together. The more we can access and feel this drawing into the core, more freedom we're going to find in the foot system. We'll inhale, lower. Add arm a little bit. Exhale and lift. Kick your left leg forward and just spread your toes. So the left thigh is still pretty much in line with my right thigh. Spreading the toes and just adding a little activation here at that left leg. Left leg comes down. Inhale and lower. Exhale and lift. Right leg kicks forward. Again, look at those toes. Spread them here. Like you could spread the fingers of the hand. Your toes will probably be a little bit tougher. Those toes could be a little more rigid. Again, right thigh is just in line with the left. Right foot comes down. Then inhale, lower. Exhale and lift. Everything draws together. Left leg kicks forward. Reach the right arm out to the side. So it's just going directly out. And then press those right fingertips down into the ground. So we're using that to activate the upper core, getting a little bit of shoulder blade into this core work. Right hand comes back, left foot then lowers, and then you lower the shoulders. Exhale and lift. Lifting up off the shoulder blades. Right leg kicks out, the left arm reaches directly out to the side. So you tent those fingertips, pressing them down, spreading it out. Left hand comes back, right foot comes down, inhale and lower. Scoot over a little bit, get out of the way of my wall. Exhale and lift. Left leg kicks forward. Right fingertips come out. Press the right fingertips down like you're tenting those fingertips. And then listen carefully here. Bring the left leg down, kick the right leg up, and then reach your left hand towards that right big toe. So just something to really challenge that brain on this last one here. Scoop your tailbone a little bit higher. Keep pressing the right fingertips. Oh, hands come back. Right foot comes down. Inhale and lower. Exhale and lift. Just one more on the other side. Right leg kicks out. Left arm reaches. Tent the fingertips. Press them down. So we're activating that left shoulder blade. Then we're going to go ahead and bring the right foot down. Kick the left foot out and reach the right hand towards that left big toe. Really pressing those fingertips. Feel the belly pull down. Scoop the tailbone a little bit. Hands come back. Foot comes down. Inhale and lower. Ooh. So you should be feeling something happening in the core. Come around onto your hands and knees. And when you arrive in your hands and knees, I just want you to find a position that's comfortable for your knees. So that might be under the hips. It might be a good bit closer towards the wrist. Spread your fingers and the thumbs out and just kind of take up that space. They're all fingers. So just spread your fingers out. Be sure to really plug your metacarpals down into the palm. Really feel that connection into the ground. So just right where those fingers are plugging in. And then we'll take a little check-in with our neck by bringing our right hand to the back of the skull. So just want your palm to be resting here at the back of the skull. And we're just using it as a little reminder to help to lift our head up. Again, so many of us are rounded in the shoulder. We also get this forward tip of the head. So notice if even in quadruped, that's starting to show up for you here. The hand is here to help. So it's just allowing the throat to feel like it's almost lifting into the back of the vertebrae, and then you're lifting that skull slightly up into the palms. If you notice your left hand is still on the ground here, we're going to look at that left hand, spreading the fingers, pushing your left hand and lean into the left shoulder blade, and rotate your ribs just an inch or two open to the right. Then you're going to bring yourself back through that quadruped position of the chest. So you're coming back to parallel, right hand still behind the skull, left hand on the ground. Let's do that about 5 more times. Pushing the left hand, rotating the ribs a little bit, and then bringing the chest to realign with the floor. We're just doing a little opening the book move here. Pushing into the hand, opening up the chest, bringing it back down, aligning with the floor, going as slow as you'd like here, really letting yourself feel the press. And let this movement happen from the left shoulder blade. So my core is activated. I'm pushing into the left hand. I'm using that left scapula, leaning onto it with my back ribs in order to help feel some activation, some fire into this whole area. So I'll get like one more here. And this will play later into the practice, some of the moves that we'll have available for us. The right hand comes down, left hand comes behind the skull, left elbow out to the side, pushing the right hand, rotate the chest open to the right, and then bring your chest back to a line. So again, the left hand, keep going with this. So as you press into the right hand, opening up, rotating around the ribs, it's just a couple of inches, and then realigning that chest with the floor. Remember, your left hand is your reminder for the neck to stay lifted. So we certainly don't want to feel like the left hand is like winning and pushing the skull down. Again, feel the movement is coming from the right shoulder blades. You're pushing into the right hand, rotating your ribs open to the left, and then bring that scapula back down onto the left ribs. So I'll get one more here. And then we'll realign. So in our elevation class, we definitely are always going to want to hit this dolphin pose today. Now, as always, I'll give you two options. We're all going to bring our forearms down. You can either have your palms parallel with so the palms are down, the forearms are parallel, or you can interlace the fingers. Okay, they're both equally good. What you do want to focus on though is wrapping your elbows in, because the whole idea is we want to try and keep this alignment of the elbow with the humeral head. So you can see real quick here on yourself, go real wide with your elbows. You need to go like super dramatic. See how like there's just no support here now. We're just kind of collapsing into the chest. Well, even with just that small widening of the elbows when we're up in our dolphin, you'll start to feel that collapse. So that's why I wanted to show that to you real quick, just to really give you the emphasis of wrapping your elbows in and help you understand this idea of getting your humeral head, the top of the arm bone, centered in the shoulder socket, and that'll really play into this idea of stabilizing our scapula. So, with the forearms on the ground here, you're going to relax your neck. Again, those fingers can be clasped together. In fact, that's the variation I'll show you today. Tuck the toes, release the neck, puff up in between the shoulder blades, and then push your forearms to your toes. I always like to say, you might just be hovering the knees, great place to be. You might start to extend your pelvis up towards the ceiling. So hoist it up, let the toes spread, keep a little bend into the knees. Notice if that doesn't help you feel longer in the back instead of rounding in that back and trying to create movement in the tight places. We can just kind of bend into those joints and give more space and freedom. Keep breathing here. Spreading the toes, pushing down into the forearms. Now, keep the left foot on the ground, but just lift the right leg up behind you. So this will be very similar to the three-legged down dogs that we're going to take today. When the right leg is up, I want your pelvis to stay level. We're going to just be extending that right heel directly out from behind us. Bend the right knee. For a moment here, pull the right thigh in towards your belly. Push more in towards the left big toe. Maybe bend the left knee to make space. One more breath. Right foot comes down, left foot lifts. So again, we have some three-legged down dogs today. I want you to find this position in three-legged down dog. The sacrum, the pelvis is level with the ground. Feeling the core activated. Bend the left knee, pull the left thigh towards the torso, towards the belly. So it should be stretching and opening up your right hamstring a little bit. Pull more into that belly. One more breath. Left toes come down, knees come down, hips can go back. Child's pose. So when I say pull into the belly, I really do mean that in a stabilizing way, not some kind of superficial way. Our transverse abs, they tie all the way in to that low back. So when we're pulling that belly button in towards that back line of the body, we are pulling in to some of our deepest and strongest areas. Let's go ahead. Come towards the wall, because I do want us to get just a little bit of down dog on the wall practice or dolphin on the wall practice. Don't skip this if you're watching it on recording. In fact, since we're Elevate class today, I'll show you down dog on the couch. So this is great too, because unless you're really new aged and crushing it, you probably have a couch at your house. So for down dog on the couch, I find that if you're struggling and finding the down dog on the wall, the dolphin on the wall, walking your feet right up the wall, is really, really tough. This is a really great way to begin to approach it. So just come to the edge of a surface. And it can be a chair that's firmly against the wall. You just want to make sure it's not something that's going to topple if you push your legs into it, because we will have some body weight going into those legs. But we'll measure out where our feet meet the little surface here. So I'm at the very edge of my couch. I'm going to take my hands next to the hips, and I just want to know about how far away my body is from the couch to get my shoulders over the hips, because what we're going to do is we're just going to flip our torso and practice holding it to strengthen our muscles for getting upside down. We're going to flip around, keep the hands in the same place. So you got your measurement now of how long your legs are just about. You're going to press into the hands, wrap the elbows in before you go anywhere. You want to grip the floor with those fingertips. Get nice and strong in the core by lifting it into the low back again. What's your neck doing? And then tuck the toes, bring the heels to the couch, then step 1 foot up at a time. And so you just step up and you make this little like pike position with your body. Relax your neck, and that will help you pull deeper into your core, your abdominals, your belly. Big inhales here. Exhales. And eventually, what all that leads to is being able to take this practice to the wall and being able to challenge ourselves a little bit more with the weight bearing that we're taking through into the hands. So give yourself a couple more breaths there. Yeah, try one more. Pull the low ribs in, feel everything is gathering. Yeah, that's it. And let the neck release. That's my big one. I have a little stiff neck today, and I've been getting on that down dog on the wall a little bit more. And so it's not down dog on the wall. It's my tendency to lift and crane my neck. It wants to work so hard for me that asking it to relax a little bit so that the core and the muscles in the core can do their job. It's a practice. That's why I call it yoga practice, not yoga perfect. Whoa, okay, come to the top of the mat. Roll your shoulders a couple times. Let's get ourselves moving today. So at the top of the mat, come to mountain pose, hands by your side. With those arms by your side, feel a big breath in here. Core is on, glutes are rooted. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Hands come down. Fingertips can come down to the ground, but I want you to connect something into the floor. Try and get your ribs connected to the thighs. Right foot steps back. Right knee comes down, lower the top of the foot. Inhale, reach your arms forward and up. Feel like you're zipping the front of your pelvis up into the sternum and really get engaged in that front line. Hands come down, step back in the plank. Lower the knees, lower all the way to the floor. Head of the arm bone, stay lifted. Pull back your hands for cobra. Lift, downward, facing dog. So you're lifting that belly again into the low back. Let the feet step in. Weight is equal in the hands and the feet. Try and get those elbows straight and pull into those hands a little bit. Get that centering of the humeral head. Right foot steps forward, left knee comes down. Toes and tuck. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. Root the tailbone, pull the core in. Hands come down, fingertips come down. Step the left foot to meet the right. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Hands come down, fingertips come down. Left foot steps back, left knee comes down. You can keep the toes tucked. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Root the left glute. Feel that back line supporting you. Hands come down, step back in the plank. Lower the knees, lower all the way to the floor. Head of the arm bones, stay lifted. Pull back your hands for cobra. Lift, downward, facing dog. The left foot will step forward. Right knee comes down. Right toes can stay tucked. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. That right glute is rooting into the ground and helping to lift the pressure out of the right knee. Hands come down. Palms or fingertips. Load something in the arms. Step the right foot to meet the left. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. Exhale, hinge at the hips. This will be a little bit different. Right foot steps back. Right knee comes down. Toes can stay tucked. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Take the left hand to your left hip crease here, and then bring the right hand down in front of your chest here, like you're doing a little stop right there movement. So remember that protraction where you're reaching the palm forward. I want want you to feel that retraction here. So plug that shoulder blade down onto the back ribs. Almost feel like your shoulder blade's hugging down towards the hip a little bit here. And then from here too, I want you to feel that centering of the humeral head. So this is all set in place here. We're going to now move the left hand onto the right glute. So it's secure there. Make sure that muscle's working here for you. Land your right hand down, about a foot, maybe a foot and a half inside the left foot. We're going to press into the right toes, lifting our right glute up and into the left hand. Feel free to keep the left hand here, reminding your hip to lift. As we lean into the right hand, rotate the ribs a little bit open to the left. It's just an inch or two, and you're hugging your shoulder blade down onto the back ribs. Feel free to tuck the chin in and release your right ear to your right shoulder. And if it feels good for you, you could even reach that left arm up and out of the shoulder socket. You're welcome to keep it on the back hip. 2 more breaths here. Big inhale. Check in with that right shoulder blade. Just like we had it a moment ago, feel that right shoulder blade is hugging down on the back ribs. The rotation in the ribs is just a couple inches. It's not a huge twist, long in the spine. Left hand comes down, step back into plank. Lower the knees, lower all the way to the ground, head of the arm bones, stay lifted. So be a little bit different. Go wide with your fingertips. Tend to your fingertips. So I'm up on my fingertips, palms are lifted. My hands are pretty much in line with my shoulders. Elbows are pointing up. It's kind of like you're making an M shape with your shoulders and arms. Release your forehead down. Tuck the toes. Root your tailbone. Pull your fingertips back. Get long in that neck and feel the belly lift into the low back. 2 more breaths. This is a wide cobra, chest opener, shoulder activator. Belly is lifted, tailbone's rooted, low back feels long, head is released. Bring the hands back under the shoulders, press into the palms, lift it up and back, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, left knee comes down, toes can stay tucked, inhale, arms reach forward and up. So this is a big opening for the bottom of the foot. If you're more comfortable up the foot on the floor, A-okay. Just trying to get you as much variety in the ankles as we can. Right hand comes to that right side of the pelvis. Left hand comes in front of the left shoulder. It's just in front of that chest there. First, get a little protraction. Reach that palm forward, and then pull that shoulder head back into the socket so the shoulder blade is hugging onto the back ribs and drawing slightly down towards the hips. So we're setting this thing up for our twisted crescent. The left toes are tucked if they're not already, because we're going to bring the left hand down about a foot and a half inside that right foot, and then bring the right hand around to the left glute. Push into the left toes, lift your left hip off the ground. Lean into that left hand. Feel everything is fired up here. The core is lifting into the back area. Palm is down. Dial that left hand without actually moving it. So it feels like the left hand is going to dial out to the left, but it won't actually move. It's just going to help plug that shoulder blade onto the back ribs. Lean into the left hand and let it rotate the ribs. Open to the right, tuck the chin in, release the left side of the ear to the left shoulder if it feels good. You bring the right arm up, really activate that shoulder blade. Keep pushing into your left toes. And feel that the core is what's supporting the rotation so that the low back is long. Bring the right hand down, step back into your plank. Lower your knees or lower all the way to the floor. So it's your choice there. You can always lower the knees for more support. Land the forehead on the ground. You can keep the toes tucked. Bring the hands out wide. Elbows are up. We're going to pull those fingertips back. Maybe your head lifts this time, but still keep the chin tucked in. So neck is long. We're not lifting the chin and craning into it. And then release, lift, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in here, push into those hands. Weight is equal on the hands and the feet. You're gonna feel a little bit more weight in the hands. We step our left foot forward and our right foot forward to a forward fold at the top of the mat. Again, keep some weight in the hands the whole time until you're ready to bend your knees and stand up tall at the top. Reach your arms forward and up, mountain pose. Exhale, hinge at your hips. So that means thighs and belly come towards each other. Hands plant, step or hop back. Plank pose. You're going to use your glutes for the hop back. Core is on. Lower your knees, lower all the way to the ground. And the elbows stay lifted. Untuck the toes, pull back your hands for cobra or reach the arms back in locust. Lift the belly into the low back to give yourself support. Hands press, up and back, downward facing dog. Today's all about that scapula stability. So we're going to just talk about hops. If you have hops in the practice, you want to just go for them, go for them. I'm really just going to set them up today and kind of talk about how you want to drill them and work towards building them into your practice. So from down dog, bring your feet together and then walk your toes. Like, everyone's going to be different. You might be like a whole foot closer. You might just be a few inches closer. We're going to have the toes together here. Bend your knees, send your butt down to your heels, and then push into your big toe mound. Let it extend your ankle, your knees, and your hips. And so this is kind of like our down dog on the couch or wall position here, where we are hoisting the pelvis up over top of the shoulders. So we're just continuing to go with this coil and spring. My feet are so close because eventually we're going to start to lift in a little hop. And so if you have less space to cover, you have less space to cover. It's less work. Go ahead, extend those legs one more time. Step your right foot forward, step your left foot forward. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Stand up tall at the top of the mat. Exhale, hinge the hips. Hands come down. Step or hop back. Plank pose. If you're hopping back, definitely want those glutes on. Lower, knees or not. Go all the way to the floor. Cobra or locust. Feel free to untuck the toes, but root that tailbone and lift the belly. Pressing the hands, downward facing dog. Walk the feet in just a little bit. Bring the feet together like a coil and spring. Send your butt to your heels, then push through the toes. Feel that little engagement. So you're pushing into the big toe mound, the metatarsal there, and getting that lever activated. You want to feel that power for both those legs. Eventually, you will start to feel it. Step your left foot forward, step your right foot forward. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Hands come down, step or hop back. Core is on, lower, knees are not. Cobra or locust. Hands can stay down and pull back or reach those palms back towards the legs. And press the hands into the ground. One more time here, walk the feet in. Together, spread your toes. Coil, butt back to the heels, and spring. Push through the toes. Coil and spring. Just 3 little hops. Just pressing your toes enough. Let the feet lead. You don't have to get very high. Right foot forward, left foot forward. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. Exhale, into the hips. Hands come down, step walk. Give a little hop, lower, all the way to the floor. Head and arm bones stay lifted, cobra or locust. Lift, downward, facing dog. You stay down dog for a moment here. Coming to a 3-legged down dog. The right foot can come a little bit more into center. Left leg lifts. Remember our dolphin. So the left heel is just coming directly out of the hip. We're strong, engaged here. Bend the left knee and then come into plank pose, bringing your left knee towards your right elbow or forearm. You might even tap back up into 3-legged down dog. Extend the left heel, get that leg straight to start. Then bend the left knee, pull the left thigh towards your belly and come to plank. Across the body, tapping the elbow or forearm. Come back up, extend the heel, strong in the arms, leg is long. Last one, bend the left knee, pull the left thigh towards the belly as you come through plank. Tap your left knee to the forearm or elbow of that right arm. Woo! Left knee comes underneath the left hip. Left hand scoots under the left shoulder, opening up for modified side plank. Right hand comes to the right hip. Left hand underneath the left shoulder here. Look down at that left hand. Really plug your left hand into the ground here. Again, your left hand won't actually move, but feel like you could dial it outward to the left. The right hand can come to the left glenohumeral joint. So that's just a fancy word for where the top of the arm bone meets the shoulder socket. You're you're going to lift your right leg, feeling the support from that left scapula. And then if it feels okay, you're welcome to keep the right hand on the left shoulder. You can reach the right arm up. I'm just going to do a couple back strokes here. So we're going to reach the right arm back, down to the floor, front of the face and around, back, down, and around, back, down, and around. And then we'll reverse that. So we'll go forward, down, the leg, up, forward, down, to the leg. And last one, up, forward, down, to the leg. Then land the right hand down, land the right knee down, do a little cat-cow here. Hold the chest forward, push into the hands, spread the shoulder blades, try to relax the neck. Breathe, tailbone. Come into neutral here. So in our quadruped, again, with the shoulder head centered in that socket, just go in that scapula, sitting nicely on the back ribs. Tuck the toes, hoist the pelvis up into down dog. Keep the weight equal in the hands and the feet. The left foot will step a little more into the middle, the right leg lifts. Right glute is firing here, toes are spreading, hands are pressing into the ground. Right knee bends, pull the right thigh in as you come through plank, and then tap it to either the left elbow or maybe lower on the forearm. Bring the right leg up into three-legged down dog, right heel extends back with the right glute working. We're going to fire up that right hamstring by curling the right heel towards the glute, bringing the right knee through center, and then tapping the right knee to forearm or elbow. Come back up, extend that right heel, glute is on, and then use the hamstring, bend the right knee is the last one. Come through plank, right elbow, left forearm, left knee, left elbow, right knee underneath the right hip, right hand underneath the right shoulder, modified side plank coming at you. Left hand can check in with that glenohumeral joint. You might also want to check in with the left hip and make sure it's actually lifted on top of the right hip. It was hard to show on the other side, but I'd like for you to try and get your right shin under your torso and really work that balance. But if you need to, and it's not like a modification down, some people, everyone's bones are different. If you need to kick your leg out that's more comfortable and manageable for you, stick with it. So everyone, left hand to that right shoulder socket here, right hand's plugging into the ground. Feel like that right hand can dial out, but it won't actually move. It'll just plug your shoulder blade onto the back of the ribs. Lift the left leg. We're strong in that left glute here. Left arm reaches up. 3 going back to start. So down towards the leg, to the floor, sweeping in front of the face. 2 more like that. Down, around in front of the face. Down, around, front of the face. And then you can reverse that. Go down, front of the face, the leg, and up. To the top, the floor, to the leg, and up. 1 more, to the top, to the floor, to the leg, and up. And then land left hand down, left knee down. Back in that quadruped. 3 times, so cat-cow here. Pull the chest forward, push into the hands, spread the shoulder blades, pull the chest forward. It's like we're broadening the collarbone here, pushing into the hands, feeling everything lengthen in those shoulder blades. Bring it into neutral. Hands are going to be on the mat. Tuck the toes, hoist the pelvis up, downward facing dog. 1 more time here. We're going to keep the right leg centered. The left leg will lift. Step your left foot. So this is important. Keep your palms on the ground. I don't care how far forward your left foot gets. Just keep the connection into your hands. Step the left foot forward. It doesn't have to get super far, but keep the palms down and then stand into a high lunge. So that left leg is forward. You can always scoot it forward a little bit. And the right knee gets a little bend to help you root that right glute down into the floor. Hands can come to the pelvis like mine are here. Feel that little consolidation. Make sure everything's nice and level. We're not spilling all the water out of the front of the pelvic bowl. And then keep your left hand on your left hip, but bring your right hand to the left thigh. Now as you look at the left toes, push into that right foot. Lean into a bent knee airplane, lifting the right leg. Core is on, chest is lifted. The right foot comes down. back into high lunge. Just keep the hands where they are. We're going to push into that right big toe, extend the right leg, bend knee airplane, spread the toes of the left foot. So you might just be elevating in your airplane. That's great. Or you could be at a cruising altitude with the chest more parallel. That's great too. One more time going between the two. Bring the right foot down, high lunge, feel the right big toe. Plug in, open up the front hip, and activate the right glute. And then last time, pushing that right big toe, lean into the left foot by squeezing the left glute. Use the right glute to lift the right leg, bend the airplane, one breath here. Lower the right foot down, turn your toes to the right. Feet will be about parallel. Sit back into the right hip, side lunge to the right. Come back through center, sit back into the left hip, side lunge to the left. And we'll take this a few times, going back and forth. You can just have your hands on your hips, encouraging your leg bones to sit further back in space. So we've done a lot of good shoulder prep here. Option always to have the knee down, but we'll try out a full side plank. Come to the front of the mat, right hand is down. You bring the left ankle to stack on top of that right ankle. You can take the left hand to the pelvis, check in. Make sure you're not going too far back, leaning over. And if this is a lot still, bring your right knee under. Come back to that modified side plank. One more breath here. Grab that floor with that right hand. Really dial it in. Left hand comes down. Knees lower. Go all the way to the floor. Head of the arm bones stay lifted. Cobra, pull back your hands. Neck stays long. Lift downward facing dog. Left leg is down. Right leg lifts. Keep the palms on the ground. Step the right foot forward without lifting the palms. And then when you rise up to high lunge, hands will come to the hips. Checking in with the pelvis. We'll squeeze each side of the pelvis. Just get that little bit of awareness in there. Feel the right leg load as you activate the left glute. Push into the left big toe. Lean forward, bend the airplane. Keep the right hand in the right hip crease, and then slide your left hand over to this right thigh here. So it's acting as a little support to prevent you, again, from rounding your shoulders into that typical rounded position. Instead, we're more of a cobra chest here, but the low ribs are still in. They'll pop that belly. Toes land, core is on, hands can stay where they are. Load the right leg, press into that left big toe, tip it forward. Right glute is working, left glute is working. Lower the left foot down, bend the knee, activate, high lunge, press that left big toe, lean into the right, lift that left leg up. The last bent knee airplane, just take one more breath here. And then left foot lands, turn to the left. The feet are about parallel. Sit back into the left hip, side lunge to the left. Come back through center, sit back into the right hip, side lunge to the right. You can keep those hands on the hips, or they could go lower on your shins. Turn to the side to show this real quick. What you don't want to do is start to round your back and just totally release and hang on all your low back stuff. You want to actually really try to keep some engagement around there, and then some hip mobility. Walk it back around to the front. Step that right foot back. Lower the knees or lower all the way to the floor. Oh, sorry. Fake out. Press up in a plank. Almost missed the big move. Left hand is down. Side plank. Left hand is down. Left shoulder blades on. Right ankle on top of that left ankle. Feel free to lower the left knee down. Feel it all hug onto the back ribs. I'm sorry. I faked you out there. You're going to root the tailbone. Feel that left hand on the ground. Dial it in. Really feel that left shoulder blade. Plug onto the back ribs here. And again, that right hand can stop you from tipping too far back or poking your butt out. People do all kinds of funny things to counterbalance. All right, right hand comes down. Lower all the way to the ground. As a little apology, we'll do this one. Bring your hands under your forehead. Bend your knees and windshield wiper your legs. Oh, breathe here. But that's adaptability, people. Sometimes you might forget something, you gotta turn around, take it back the way you came. All right. Lower those legs, press into the hands, come up into downward facing dog. Make your way to the top of the mat. Be a little hop, a little float, whatever it's gotta be. And we'll get ourselves moving in our final little sequence. Just coming over here to close out that window that we got. Been pretty good this morning, but the trucks are waking up. All right. Woo! Excuse me, everybody. Hopefully you're feeling pretty open in the chest. So for this final sequence, we're just going to tie all of these little mini sequences that we've had in class together for two reasons. One, we got to set this into that mind-body connection. So just like anything you practice in life, right? You get to do it time and time again. It just sets into the body a little bit more as a natural way and a little bit more of a reprogram. Also, it's going to give you an opportunity to revisit all these little actions that we've taken today and see how they're maybe feeling a little bit different now that you do have the awareness in your shoulders, hopefully a little bit more tapped in, especially to this upper matrix of the core. So leave a little space at the top of the mat. That will give you the room to plug. It all starts here. Plugging your fingertips or your palms into the ground. It's the beginning of a side plank, of a regular plank. This is a handstand right here. I know, superficially we don't have our legs over our hands, but some degree of us is standing and weight bearing on the hands. So know that it all begins with getting your hands connected into the ground. So leave a little space for that. Come to that mountain pose, arms by your side. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, hinge the hips. Hands come down towards the ground. You can always land the fingertips, but feel that connection into the shoulder blades through the arms. Right foot steps back, right knee comes down. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Left hand comes onto the left hip crease. Right hand comes forward, plug that right humeral head into the shoulder socket. So we're retracting that shoulder blade and getting a little depression down. A little stuck action right there. Now from here, I'm going to have you actually make a fist. Turn that fist towards the front of the room and then protract. Reach it forward and then retract it back. So now you're back in that stop. Protract. Retract it back. Just a little opening here, a little protract. Retract it back. Two more. Keep the right glute working here. In fact, let's all take our left knuckle to the right glute and let that really activate. You know where it's going. Now pull that humeral head into the shoulder socket. So we're retracted, we're depressing that scapula again. Open up the palm, bring the right hand down, about a foot and a half inside that left foot. Lift the right knee by pressing into the right toe, lifting your right glute up and into the right hand. Option here to keep this right hand, left hand on the right glute. Keep lifting the belly into the low back. Maybe lift the left arm up, release the right ear to the right shoulder. Hold steady here. If you want a little bit more, you could spin onto the pinky edge sides of the feet. So it's like this little external rotation with each leg. You might even slide your front foot back a little bit. So this will just help you get a little more into the hips. But it's just an option. You definitely don't have to be here. You can for sure still be in your classic twisted crescent. One more breath wherever you are. The left hand comes down. We're going right back into three-legged down dog. So the right leg is down, the left leg is up. Now bend the left knee, bring that left knee towards the right forearm or right elbow. Tap it, lift it up, extend the left leg, bend the left knee, bring that heel to the butt, and then pull that left knee across the body in plank towards that right forearm, right elbow. Left leg goes back, extend it. Last one here, bend the left knee, pull the left thigh towards the right forearm, right elbow, kick the left leg out, maybe lean into the left shoulder blade for a little fall in triangle here. So I'm really pressing into that left hand, leaning on that left shoulder blade. The left foot is down and pressing into the ground, lifting the hips away from the floor. Slide your left foot, more like your left knee underneath of you, modified side plank. So that left knee is now underneath the left hip, the left hand's under the left shoulder. You always come back in the quadruped if it got a little bit funky to set that back up. So reach the right leg back, bring that right hand to the right hip, right arm comes up, right leg lifts. This time, you can bend the right knee, maybe grab the right shin or foot, give yourself a little quadricep stretch. So even though I'm pulling my foot, my ankle, getting a nice opening for that right leg, I'm still using my right butt cheek to root towards my right foot. Feel the tailbone engaged. Left hand's on the ground. It's plugging in. Again, it doesn't actually move, but you feel like your left hand could dial out to the left. And then notice if you're making space for your front hip by popping your ribs forward. So that's a rigid hip, not wanting to open up for you. Hold that core steady. Really good there. One more breath. We'll lower the right hand down, the right knee down, quadruped, cat-cow here, just like 3 of these. Pull the chest forward, push into the hands. You can even lift the palms and press into the fingertips and really get high. Bring the hands down, pull the chest forward. This is a healthy getting high. Pushing into the hands and the fingertips and spreading the shoulder blades. And then bring the hands back down, pull the chest forward. Push into the hands, release the neck, spreading the shoulder blades. Oh, so good. Bring the hands back down onto the floor. Tuck those toes. Again, weight is going to stay equal in the hands and the feet. Hover the knees, hoist the pelvis up towards the ceiling. The right foot is down. The left leg will lift. Big breath in here. Step the left foot towards the hands without picking them up until it lands. Then bring the hands to the pelvis. High lunge here. Again, spread the toes of the left foot. We're going to add one thing on here, so get ready for it. Right toe is planted into the ground, activating that right glute. Use the right toe to push through and load the left leg. Gaze is just in front of that left foot. Spread the toes. We're going to take our hands from our hips, walking them down the left leg until our palms or fingertips come to the floor. Bend your left knee a lot and get those hands directly underneath the shoulders. We're going to walk the hands back up the leg. Core is on here. Airplane, bent knee for a little extra support. Lower the right foot down. Come back to your high lunge. Bend that back knee just a little bit. Find yourself steady and strong in that high lunge. Tipping into the left foot. Press through the right big toe. Right glute lifts. Airplane. Hands walk down the leg. Standing L coming at you. So bend the left knee. Try to connect the ribs to the thighs. Fingertips or palms. So I'll try to get those elbows straight for us here. Walk the hands back up the leg. Strong in the core. Airplane. Lower the toes down. High lunge. Pressing that right big toe down. Right glute is working. Shoulders back. Pressing the right big toe. Lower the left leg. Lift. Core is on. Hands walk down. Standing L. Last one here. Palms are on the ground. It's in the practice. You know where you can go with it. We're going to walk the hands back up the legs. Last one here. Bent knee airplane. Lower the right foot down, then turn to the right. Side lunges here. So sit back into the right hip. Then come through center. Sit back into the left hip. You can keep the hands going lower. You can even be on the shins. Again, as long as your core is on, you feel that length of spine. You're not getting an awkward pull on your sacrum. You'll be A-okay here. So again, you don't have to be that low. You can be up on the hips. One more time to the back. One more time to the front. Walk your hands around. Last svasana here. Right hand down. Left ankle stacks. Feel that power, that plank. Left hand can come along the side body here. Feel strong, powerful, energized. One more breath here. Left hand comes down. Knees can lower. Lower all the way to the floor. Head and your arm bones stay lifted. Locust, cobra. You go for an unbound bow by bending the knees and lifting the belly higher into the low back, reaching the arms back, not actually connecting. It's tougher. Hands come down, toes tuck, lift up and back, downward facing dog. Your choice, little coil and spring. We'll push through those toe mounds. Maybe try a little hop or float to the top of the mat. When you're ready, stand up tall. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Left foot steps back, left knee comes down. Toes can stay tucked. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. Bring the right hand to the right hip crease. Left hand comes down in front of the chest. So first, retract that shoulder blade, a little shoulder blade depression, like we're pulling that left shoulder blade down towards the hips. Or make a fist, direct those knuckles to the front of the room. Reach the knuckles forward, so you're protracting and sliding the scapula away from the center of the spine, and then retract it, putting on the back ribs. protracting, sliding it towards the door, and then retracting, bring it on to the back ribs. Protraction, sliding that left fist forward, and retracting, bring it back on the back ribs. 2 more, protraction, draw it back in, protraction, and right back in. Open up that palm again. Now you're plugging that left arm bone into the shoulder socket. Left hand comes down inside the right foot, about 1.5 feet. Right hand slides onto that back left glute. Push into the left toes. Lift that left knee off the ground. Twisted crescent here, knee into the left shoulder. Let that rotate the ribs, open to the right. The right arm can come up to the side. You let the left ear release a little bit more to the left side of the shoulder. You can spin onto the outside edges of your feet. So it's like you're on like the pinky edge side of each foot. It's also adding more scapula stability demand, and we're getting a nice opening into the hips here. But you really got to push into those pinky edge sides of the feet and lift the left side of the hip away from the floor. Breathing through the lips and just kind of nice little release. Right hand comes down, 3-legged down dog. Right leg is up. Bend the right knee, come through plank, pull that right knee towards the left elbow, left forearm. Extend your right leg back, 3-legged down dog. Right leg is long, heel reaches back. Come forward and plank, right knee to left elbow, left forearm, plank, tap it, bring it back, 3-legged down dog, extend the right leg. Last one, bend the right knee, heel to butt, come through plank, right knee to left arm, and then kick the right leg out as an option. Open up. You can bring the left arm up. Right arm is down on the ground. Hand plugs down into the floor. Plugging that scapula onto the back ribs. Push into the right foot and lift your hip away from the floor. And then slide the right knee underneath the right hip. Modified side plank. So again, you can kickstand out more for a little more support. The right hand is down. The left hand's on top of that left hip. This time we can lift the left leg, bend the left knee, and add a little quad stretch. So I like grabbing the toes for a little stretch in my toes, rooting the left tailbone, the whole tailbone, but rooting it and feeling that left hip open up, like keeping the belly strong and not spilling our guts out and dumping into our lumbar spine. Grab the floor with that right hand. Again, feel like your right hand is going to dial out. It won't move, but it'll plug your back rib onto the scapula. Left knee lowers, left hand lowers. Quadruped. Let's do a little circling of the ribs this time. So as you lower the chest and pull it forward, you can then send it over to the right, push into the hands, circle the rib cage, around to the left, down to the right, releasing the neck, popping up in between the shoulder blades, around to the left and down, and one more time in that direction. Mobilizing a little bit more. Bring it the other way, pushing up, around. Ooh, yeah. Okay, some good freeing happening for this for me. Up, around, to the left. Okay, the core on. We're not done with that core until Shavasana. So come into your neutral quadruped, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. This is it. Left foot is down, right leg lifts. Keep the hands down on the ground, step the right foot towards them, and then bring the hands to the hips as you rise up for high lunge. Left toe presses into the ground. Spread the toes of the right foot. Tip it forward, bent knee airplane. Left glute is working to tip you forward and keep the chest lifted. Walk the hands down the legs. Bring the palms onto the floor. Spread your fingers, grab the floor. Bring the hands onto the leg, walk them right back up. Bent knee airplane. Lower the left foot down, high lunge. We're going between these three. Real scapula stability here for all of them. Bring it forward, load the right leg, scapula sit on those back ribs, walk the hands down, fingertips are fine, let the right knee bend as much as it has to get you towards the floor. Try to get straight in the elbows. Walk the hands back up, bend the airplane, lower the left toes down, high lunge. Last one, tip it forward, right foot's on the ground, left leg lifts, core is on, walk the hands down, standing L. If you have another place you like to take it, like off, you're welcome to do that. Come back up into airplane. Lower the left foot down, turn to the left side, lunges. So back into the left hip, come through center, back into the right hip. If you want to add a little twist in here, you bring fingertips down and reach the same arm up as the side that you're coming over to. So right arm up when you sit the right hip back, left arm up, you sit the left hip back. And then come around to the front, side plank, this is it. Left hand is down, right ankle stacked, right arm is up, you can always drop. That left knee down, holding steady here. I like the right arm long on my torso to remind me, stay level, don't shoot your butt back. That's mine, I do the booty balance. So notice if your booty's helping you balance. And it's good that your booty can balance, but you want your core to balance too. Right hand comes down, lower the knees, lower all the way to the ground. Oh, bring the hands over the forehead, bend those knees, windshield wiper, side to side. Nice job, everybody. We'll stay like this for our final little release move. So stay on your belly. Your legs can start off long. Goal post your arms. So like my elbows are in line with my forearms and goal posted here. Bend your left knee. Scoot your left hand back to your ribs. Push into your left hand. And then take the left thigh off the ground. And you can bring the left toes to touch down behind you. But really root your tailbone down into the ground. So I'm not letting myself twist in the lumbar spine, but I'm really rooting my tailbone down. Keep engagement in the right forearm, so keep pushing it down, opening it up. Big chest opener here to finish it all. And then left knee comes down, left foot goes long, left forearm is on the ground, goal posted, right hand slides back. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So right hand is lined up with the right shoulder, left arm is goal posted, right knee bends. You're going to push into the right hand and lift the right thigh off the ground. You can touch those right toes down and just root your tailbone towards the left heel. That'll help keep your back long here and help keep the core engaged, working with you on it. And then come on back. Really nice. You can push into those hands and bring yourself around onto your back. We'll take a quick shavasana here. Of course, if you're watching a recording of this, take a shavasana for as long as you like. Just pause it. You can bring the feet onto the ground. You can go long with the legs, whatever is most comfortable for your back, for you right now. Checking in with this reset. course. You're welcome to stay here longer. You can take an inhale. The fingers and toes, get a little wiggle to them. Reach the arms overhead. Point the toes, reach the arms. And gather the knees in. Rock from side to side. Make your way over to whatever side feels comfortable, natural. Use the top arm to make your way up. Comfortable seated position. And now just feel the elevation that comes when you move your body in general, right? Whether it's a hike, yoga class, you could walk with a dog. If you feel a little more connected to your core, a little more set in these shoulders, a little more stable in the scapula. And knowing that now that we're tapped into this stuff behind us, we are maybe a little bit more aware of just how much our body has got our back. So I honor the work and discipline that you put into this class. Nobody else can show up on that mat except for you. So you do all the hard work. So I bow to that. I honor the light that shines in all of you. Namaskar, everybody.